Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into a really fascinating and frankly urgent situation in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes, fascinating and urgent are definitely the right words.
Our sources are pointing to this thing called a demographic dividend.
Sounds good, right? 70% of the population is working age.
It should be good, a huge advantage. But the data we're seeing says this advantage is actually being, well, rapidly eroded.
Okay, so that's our mission for this deep dive. Why is this potential strength crumbling? What's going on?
It really boils down to two immediate crises hitting at the same time. You've got a fertility rate that's just collapsed, and then there's the national insurance scheme, the NIS, facing, well, running out of money.
Right, let's unpack those numbers. The fertility rate first, the TFR. I saw international estimates were already low, like 1.3, 1.5.
Yeah, already below what you need to sustain a population long term. But the very latest government data we have for 2024, it shows a drop to 0.9.
0.9 children per woman.
Oh.
That's incredibly low, almost unprecedented for a non-crisis situation, isn't it?
Right.
It really is. A rate that low fundamentally changes society and fast. It pushes the average age up much quicker.
So the median age is climbing rapidly.
Climbing very fast. Yeah. It's projected at 37.7 years for 2025. And what that means, in practical terms, is more older people relying on fewer younger workers.
Okay, how does that translate into actual numbers, like for dependency?
We look at the old age dependency ratio. Basically, how many retirees for every 100 workers? TNT is already at 18.6%.
And how does that compare globally?
It's already higher than the global average, which sits around 16.0%. So, the financial stress on those still working is already disproportionately high.
And that stress hits the national insurance scheme, the NIS, head on. What's the timeline look like for the NIS? The sources seem quite alarmed.
They are. The projections are stark. Without major changes in the NIS reserves, they're expected to be completely gone by the fiscal year 23-3, 23-4.
Okay, 23-3, 23-4. That's less than a decade. Are there reforms planned?
There are. The main one is raising the pension age gradually from 60 up to 65.
Gradually. When does that actually start?
And that's the kicker. The phase-in doesn't even begin until January 2028.
Wait, so there's this looming 2033 deadline, but the main structural fix doesn't start for another few years. That seems like a gap.
It's a huge gap. And because of that delay, they have to plug the hole somehow now.
How?
Well, the plan is, and this will be painful, employees are scheduled to pay 23% more in NIS contributions starting in 2026.
23% more. Wow. Just to keep things going until 2028.
Essentially, yes. It's a necessary stopgap, but a massive hike for workers.
Okay, so we have this aging issue, the NIS crunch. But didn't we start by saying 70% are working age? That sounds strong.
It sounds strong, but it's a bit of an illusion because of brain drain. Emigration.
Ah, so it matters who is in that 70%, who's leaving.
Exactly. The data shows it's highly selective. It's heavily concentrated among the youngest, most dynamic group, people aged 20 to 29.
So you're losing the engine just as you need it most.
Precisely. That dividend is being hollowed out from within. This makes managing migration really critical.
Right. The sources mentioned the Venezuelan influx about 34,000 people by mid-2022. Is the idea to integrate them?
Yes, strategically. The idea is TNT needs to formalize pathways for these working-age migrants to fill labor shortages, especially with its own young people leaving. It's an offset.
Okay, connect this back to the aging population for a moment. What about healthcare costs, particularly for the elderly?
That's another major strain. Public health spending is quite low, only around 3.3% of GDP.
Which means people pay a lot themselves.
A lot. Out-of-pocket costs are nearly 46%. Think about that. Almost half of healthcare costs are borne directly by individuals.
And how does that specifically impact older people needing care, say, nursing homes?
This is where it gets really tough. The maximum social assistance payment is TT $3,500 a month. The minimum NIS pension is TT $3,000.
Okay.
But a basic private nursing home, our sources say that starts at TT $4,000 a month, often more.
So the safety net doesn't even cover the most basic level of care?
Structurally, no. It guarantees debt or impossible choices for families trying to care for elderly relatives. It just shifts that burden back onto the working population, adding to all the other pressures.
So wrapping this up, what's the core message from these sources? What absolutely has to happen?
It seems to be twofold. First, secure the NIS. That means the reforms, including that painful contribution hike, have to stick. Second, manage migration strategically to shore up the workforce.
Use immigration to help manage the dependency ratio.
Exactly. But given how low that fertility rate is 0.9, you have to wonder if even raising the pension age to 65 is enough long term.
Which brings us to a final thought for you, the listener. Considering this demographic cliff edge, maybe TNT needs to think even further ahead. Should future increases in the pension age be automatically linked to rises in life expectancy? Some countries do this to lock in solvency decades out. It's a tough question, but one these numbers suggest might be necessary.